And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week in the edition of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 71. I'm of course Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to your bi-weekly dose of Korean StarCraft. Here we go. I'm of course Live VIP, and exclamation mark B in the chat. You guys don't have a look back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and this is a bit of a bittersweet week. It's a bit of a bittersweet week here because in the bracket we actually were waiting for a player, so I do apologize for the extended delay or for the bit of the break that we had leading into the start of the tournament, but we were hoping that Dark would check in. The reasoning for this is that Dark did let the tournament organizers know that this is most likely going to be his final KSL. Again, we have been speaking about how Dark is going to the military, how Dark, this is the reason why he left his team. He did have a speech, an acceptance speech, when he did receive his end of year KESP award at the end of 2024, and Dark did speak about how he was going to be going to the military and that his current career in esports was going to be coming to at least a momentary end. We'll see what happens after the military, of course. But alas, did let us know this was going to be his final KSL, and alas, he did sign up, but unfortunately he was unable to check in. He was not available, and with that, not a part of this event. Smurge, Pappy, Smurge. So we were waiting to see if he could make it in time, but alas could not. And here we go, we're getting into our next series, into our first series, I should say, of the broadcast. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Leylines, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Peruvian Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. Here we go. Again, we'll be going over the bracket after this series, so we will eventually catch up, but alas, there are no Zerg players here in this week's event. Again, Dark was the one that we were holding out for, but alas, Dark will not be a part of this. Instead, purely Terran, purely Protoss. I mean, we're used to it, Bob. We're used to it. All about those PVTs for the event. Let's go. For now though, double gas opener out of Percival, going double gas into a faster factory, a much more aggressive, much more assertive start out of our Terran. This is typically how Percival does approach this matchup. We rarely get to see Percival's mid to late game. Percival, he's very often going for aggression, timing attacks, and even two base all in. So again, that's what we're leaning towards, that's what we're expecting out of Percival. We'll see if that continues to be the case. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have Mute settling in as well. Mute has been having a lot of success in recent times. If you've been watching and tuning into recent KSLs and recent Open Cups, you would know that most recently Mute did take down Classic in, I want to say, last edition's KSL, and also went to the ace match against Cure, I want to say. So Mute, he has been getting some better and better results, taking down some big Korean names. Mute has been improving quite a lot here over the past year. Mute, he is a newer face to the scene, to the region. Again, if you're watching in 2024, that's when Mute kind of made his debut. So he has risen through the ranks real fast and real quick throughout the past year of play, and now he's gotten to the point where he is now contesting against some of the best players out there. I wouldn't say he was favored by any means, but now he's more regularly causing these upsets, at least with some infrequency, and we'll see if that becomes more frequent over time. But now we're going to be settling in. We do have our PVT. Mute often does thrive in the mid game. In the mid game, mid to late game, he does often try to slow the game down and try to get into that maxed out game state. We'll see if Mute can get there against Percival. These two styles, they often collide. Percival being more the aggressing player, Mute being the more defensive player. And here we go. We do have a Stargate opener out of Mute. Stargate most likely into Phoenix. We'll see if he does open Oracle instead. But Stargate openers can be very, very risky here, as they do leave you vulnerable in the early game. Now, as we get into the game, I do apologize, but predictions, get your gambler going. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat with those predictions, as you have a couple of minutes here to place your bets to get your gambler going. Now Percival, he is going to back up. We just see the 1-1-1 follow-up into a mine drop, so we have drop play coming in from Percival. Meanwhile, across map, Mute does go Stargate into Phoenix into Gateways, and again, Mute, this is designed to get map control and to harass and to contain the opponents, but until the Phoenix count really gets high, you're vulnerable. You're still vulnerable to these early pushes, these early timing attacks. Thankfully for Mute, Percival is not going for a tank push. There's no tank push, there's no cyclone commitment. It is a wood mine drop instead. Mute should be okay. Mute should be okay. Checking the vision, Percival, he has not seen. He has not seen, he has not gotten into the main base. He does not know what is going on. Doesn't know that his opponent is as vulnerable as he is. So Percival is in the dark. We do see that Mute, he's intentionally hiding his Phoenix. He's moving out with only hallucinations. The drop is going to be coming in though, and we'll see what Percival can get done. See how many workers he can shut down. The station does hit the main. Drop into likewise the main base of Mute. We'll get a full scout of everything that's going on. Does boost in. It does boost in. Does scout the Stargate. Is aware. Drops into the mineral line. And Mute, he is late to pull away. Yeah, late reactions, late to pull away. Mine shot's going to be going off. So far, 4 probes going down. The Phoenix take a lot of hits as well. And this is just a very late reaction here from Mute. He had time to react. But remember, no blink. No blink. Oh, Vanilla Stalkers do move in. Mine shot goes off, takes down the Zealots. And Mute, he will defend, but he will sustain some losses. He will sustain losses here. 7 pro kills. Very nice target firing towards the end. 7 workers go down. In the end, Percival, he does gain momentum. He does start off with a lead. So better drop here from Percival. As we mentioned, the Phoenix play was meant to deny this, was meant to shut this down well ahead of time, but Mute's reactions were not what they needed to be, and with that, Mute has some recovering to do. Now from here, he's going into charge, he's going for a gateway explosion. From here, I would imagine he's going to take a 3rd base and get into a 3-base setup. We'll see how aggressive Mute is going to be. We'll see how many gateways he throws down. Now everything looking as it should. Just getting to charge, throwing down additional gateways. Yep, 3rd base now on the way. So again, Mute, he's going to be being more defensive and building up into 3 bases, but Percival is in a better position here. Percival back at home, building up his own forces. I did mention previously that Percival, he is known for 2-base all-ins. Like, he's known for going 2-base all-in, for being aggressive. I see 2 more Raxes on the way. We'll see when and if he throws down a CC. Does Percival expand, or does Percival pull the boys? Now, because of how much damage Percival dealt in the main base, I can see the logic behind making the reactive decision of pulling the boys and just going all in. Like, that's very much so a high chance of that occurring. So we'll see if Percival does pull that off. Now he is still building up. Still going to be building up here, and back at home we see, okay, he's not going for as much of a gateway explosion. He does have a couple of charges, but he's going into Disruptor, sorry, Colossus. He's going into Colossus production, and Colossus, they will help for sure, but we do need to build up that Colossus count a little bit higher. The bio count is getting up and running, and it does look like a 2-base all-in. Basically, I see 2 more Raxes, and I specifically see no add-ons yet. Without any add-ons, there's no longevity here. There's the Unsiege, and we are going to send it across the map. Oh, Raven takes a lot of hits. Does snipe the Raven. Very nice snipe. Very nice pick off. We'll see. Percival does pull the boys. But again, basically a 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in out of Percival. He does commit across the map. Yep, the boys are being pulled, as we did assume. It's all or nothing. Now, Mute, he does see the SCVs. Yep, he does confirm. He's aware of the all-in. Bleeds out some of the Phoenixes. And again, this does feel like a reaction to the damage that was dealt. Because Percival did so much damage, it makes perfect sense that he would all-in in this position. Mute, can he survive this? Yes, Force Fields, that is true, but he still needs time for the Colossus. Remember, the Bay did finish, but 0 Colossus. Oh, he supply blocked. Oh, he supply blocked. Now is not the time. Brutal supply block here. Pylon just now gets thrown down. Yeah, the supply block is brutal. He's going to engage, but there's no shot that Percival will hold, so that Mute holds this. Percival, he's going to snowball out of control. He breaks through the Zealots and gets on top of the main army. And even though it's going to cost Percival his SCVs, it's worth it. GG gets called, and Percival, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, a solid game there out of Percival, and just a very difficult position for Mute to be in. In general, when you go for Stargate openers, you are vulnerable to all-ins. Not just that though, he did take a lot of losses in the early game. He took 7 workers going down. That was brutal economic damage. As we mentioned, that I'm sure did play into the decision of Percival pulling the boys and going for an all-in, recognizing that Mute would be vulnerable, that he'd be exposed, that he would not be able to hold on. GG. GG, well played. It also shows just how much early game aggression and early game damage can really impact a game and can really impact your defenses. It's just so crucial here, and again, that early game harassment can be quite pivotal when it comes to what happens in a later game, in the mid game even. GG. GG, well played. That leads us into game number 2, and we'll see if Percival will continue his streak and take the 2-0, or if Mute can fight back. What I will say is that there were some missteps there by Mute. Again, he had a late reaction to the drop, likewise got supply blocked towards the end, likewise lost his Phoenixes as he was trying to slow down the push across the map. Like, there were some key moments there where Percival was able to overwhelm, and Mute did slip up. We'll see if he can tighten up his play coming into El Dorado. Let's go. Let us go. As we're jumping into that second game. After this series, of course, we'll be going over the brackets. We'll catch up on all the other matches that are going on. We'll figure out where we are and where we are headed. As morning in the bottom left hand corner of El Dorado, we have our South Korean Terran player leading the series 1-0. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. We go. We are settling into our PVT. And again, last game we had Mute going for a Stargate opener. As we did mention, it can be very risky going Stargate. I mean, again, as the game led into, you're vulnerable to all-ins, vulnerable to aggression. I don't expect a Stargate opener 2 games in a row. I would imagine that Mute will deviate this time and will go for something a little bit different. The rush distance by air on this map is short, that is true, so Stargate play can be a little bit more impactful. Likewise, it's still a smaller map overall, and ground pushes can still be quite devastating. So we'll see what Mute does go for. Back at home, we do see double gas. Once again, double gas opener into a faster factory. Last game, this led into Reaper Hellion into the committed Mine Widowmine drop. Sorry, Mine Marine drop. Is what led into the last game. This time we could see the same. We could see Reactor Reaper Hellion. We could see committed to Cyclone drop, Tank drop, Banshee play. First, he does have options. But now Mute just being as annoying as possible. Does confirm the double gas, does confirm the factory. Mute is aware. And we're waiting for that Cybercore to finish, and we're waiting for the tech of choice. We're waiting to figure out what the hell's going on, where we headed, where we dropping. So just catching up with the chat. Hello, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Shout out to Psycons, Peon, Getcha as well. Welcome. Bienvenidos. As the probe is in position, show us what you got. Probe is ready. Probe is waiting for that extra gas. There it is. Twilight Council opener instead. Okay, so Mute, he is shaking it up. Going for a safer opener this time. Twilight Council into Blink. Into, I would imagine, a Gateway Explosion. Now, we'll see if this is 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker. 3-gate is very safe. 4-gate is more aggressive. 2-gate is greedy. So, we'll see what Mute does settle on. Especially because of his opponents, I wouldn't be surprised if we just play it safe. Just play it safe. Likewise, this map isn't really ideal for 4-gate Blink. As the first adept does go down. Likewise, Mute trying to chase down that final Hellion. Alas, a Hellion does pull away in time. CC is going to be under fire. And looks like the CC is going to be delayed. Not bad. Picks on SCV does delay. Adept does pull out. But the reason why we don't often see 4-gate Blink specifically on El Dorado is because there's no way into the main. There's the power of 4-gate Blink Stalker in this matchup and the aggression that it entails is your ability to poke and prod at the natural and also the main base, right? To rotate between them, to dive in as well. But here on El Dorado, because of the room, because of the dead space here outside of the main, there's no way in. There's no way into the main base. You can, of course, blink into the natural, and the natural is larger to compensate. That is true, but it's still only the natural. It's still a more centralized location to defend. It's still easier for a Terran player to focus their defenses in one area instead of two. So Percival, he should be feeling pretty safe. He goes for the dive. Percival, he scouts. He confirms the Twilight Council. How many gateways? We have 3 gates. So 3 gate blink. Very safe play here from Mute. And from here we can settle in. Here we can settle in. Meanwhile, from the side of Percival, he did go for a 1-1-1 into Cloak Banshee. If you recall, this was one of the many options that Percival had available to him, and of course the option of choice is to go into Cloak Banshee. This can be devastating, especially if a Protoss player does delay their Robo. Thankfully, Mute does open with a Robo alongside the 3rd gateway, so he's playing very safe here, and Mute does already have an Observer. I mean, he's got 2 now at this point. First one does move out to scout, second one is back at home to defend. Observer's trying to make his way into the main base, avoids the Marines. See Percival may have caught a glimpse of the Shimmer. There it is, full scout of the main, gets eyes on the 3 rack setup. Here comes double Banshee, and I believe the second Observer is, yeah, back at home with the main army. So Mute, he has the tools to defend, but we'll see if he can pull it off. Meanwhile, Hellion dives in, 2 probe kills already, nice damage. Banshees into the main base. How many workers can they get done, and can they escape? 1, 2, did miss a shot earlier. 6, 7 probe kills. Observer does respawn. Banshee has to get the hell out of here, and the first Banshee does go down. And nice pick up. Second Banshee under fire. Looks like Barely will escape. Barely will get away. And 10 probes to 1 Banshee and a Hellion. Good trade. Good trade for Percival. Does trade well. Behind this, we're waiting to see extra Raxes. So here, Percival, he once again has a decision to make. Does he throw down 2 more Raxes and go for a 2 base all-in, which Percival is known for? If you remember at the start of the series, at the start of the broadcast, we did mention how Percival, he is known for aggression, for timings, and for all-ins in this matchup. We rarely see late game PvT with Percival involved, so the question becomes, does he commit, does he expand? I don't see 2 more Raxes, he expands. So last time, if you remember, he went up to 5. He went up to 5 Raxes and no add-ons. This time, only 3 Raxes. He does expand, does get a 3rd CC. So Percival, he is not pushing. Did do some damage, but this time, not enough. So it's going to calm down, settle in. We do see Mute getting ready for his own move out. He can, of course, blink into the natural. Mute, he at least somewhat sees the army, but oh god! Yeah, he did just blink. He did just blink. And he will lose the Stalker. Better trade for Percival. Again, that was a crazy blink out of Mute. Mute, we see a scan. Mute actually, he blinked in blind. He didn't know the army was waiting for him. That's why Percival scanned. He's like assuming there was an observer. There was none, not quite there. So Mute was punished. Percival, he does slip out. We go. Let's make his way into the main. Mute does have recall, not in the main base though. Likewise, Percival does push through the center. Going for the Bay, very nice pick off. Colossus, the first one, has popped out, but just the one. As the Bay is sniped, observer speed is denied. He does not have extended double lance. Oof. Yeah, no range for the Colossus. Marine's going to be shut down, but Percival is going for the kill. He depowers the Robo. Oh, depowers, takes down the Robo as well. Only 1 Colossus. Tanks are sieged up. And Mute is being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart here. Mute, he should have enough to clean this up. He has enough Zealots, enough charge lots. And he will get on top of the tanks. Again, the Zealots, they put in a lot of work. And they take down all 3 tanks. Mute, he will survive. He will defend. but did lose a lot of his production and a lot of his tech. That's the biggest blow here, is that even though Percival doesn't kill him, remember, Percival, he wasn't all in. He has the third base, so he can afford to build up, get more production buildings. There we go, getting up to 5 Raxes, throwing down his double E-bays, building up towards the mid-game. Meanwhile, Mute, he is behind. Why? He lost his Robo and his base, so he's going to be stuck on 1 Colossus for a long time. Is stuck on that 1 Colossus, which means he has no pushing power. He can try to move out, but it's going to be difficult. Now trying to deal with this drop. And going for the goal base, that is a way to recover, true. That is a way to recover in this game, rushing into the gold. I do like this decision from Mute, and honestly it's a really necessary decision for him. Does need to go for the gold. Likewise, Percival moving out once again. Mute, he does spot this with the Zanaga, thankfully. Mute is aware. Mute is in position. That was an oversight from Percival. Some pokes in. Mindshot takes down 1 Zealot. Nothing major. Observer even chasing the army. And Mute is going to try to stabilize from here. He's rebuilt his Robo, now into a Bay, now into Colossal production. Percival behind this, now would have been a great moment for him to tech up. He is going into Viking production, into 2-1 upgrades, but there we go. I was waiting for the Ghost Academy. Ghost Academy now being thrown down for Percival. I would have liked that a little bit sooner. Unfortunately, Percival just doesn't really know the game state that's occurring right now. He has not scouted the gold base. He doesn't know that Mute has rushed into the gold and is rushing into a greater economy. Percival, he takes over the Zelnaga. He should be checking the southern location, or at least the 4th gold. The other gold base. There we go. He scans, he sees, he knows. The pressure is on. It's a lot of Zealots. Without EMPs, Percival, I don't think he can fight this. Don't think he can fight this unless he engages in a choke point. Speaking of, okay. Knocks down the rocks. Let's go. Yeah, heads down to the low ground. Very nice move here out of Percival. From here he rotates. Stims in. Does attempt to. Yeah, playing with fire, dancing with the army, going for the expansion. And again, he's trying to cause a distraction. It looks like he will get the expansion just barely. Yeah, Nexus goes down, and he has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull out. And, oh, he will bleed out a couple units, but barely does escape. Does get over to the other side. Alas, he is safe. Gets away. Once again, just using the terrain here. And Mute, I believe, just now getting to his 2nd Colossus. The Robo is done. The Bay is complete. We need more splash damage here. Mass Zealot has potential, but is so vulnerable to EMPs and splash damage. More Wood Lines on the way. Oof. Yeah, brutal connections. And Percival's army is just getting better and better. And right now, Mute is stuck on almost purely Zealot. Oh boy. And he can take some good fights, don't get me wrong. Like, if he can surround the army, that'll be ideal for Mute. That is a big if. Once again, also denied. Oh, nice EMP on the charge slots. Ghost getting caught out. Where are those Widow Mines? And reinforcements on the way. Widow Mines do borrow. Percival is holding on. He You're just trying to retake those gold bases. There we go. Second Colossus on the way. He's getting a second Colossus. Likewise, threatening his own push. Does he have range yet? He does not. No extendable lands. Let's go. Mute. Take another expansion. I mean, because of the gold bases, like, he is still able to maintain his army and still maintain some of these trades and losses. Like, he can afford to throw away some zealots inefficiently. They're very cheap. And with the gold minerals, he can replace them. So he is keeping up. Takes and does snipe that prism. Likewise, decent mine shots. Vikings, they shut down the Colossus. They get one, they get both. And both Colossus is going to be going down. First, what he does stand and just takes the fight. Oh, has to get back into his charge also. Will clean them up. Without the charge loss, Mute, he doesn't really have much left over. Yeah, the Stalkers, they're so exposed. The Immortals as well. He cannot fight this. And Mute, he will lose everything. He will lose everything here. I say that Zelda coming just barely towards the end. They come in to reinforce. Mute, he does break the planetary. Well, this was an expensive fight here for Mute. He's still warping in though. He's still trying to overwhelm. It's all or nothing for Mute. And he's close to breaking him. The Zealots, they come in. Boys have to be pulled. Boys are being pulled. Percival, he does kite back. Up, just barely. Does need more reinforcements. Where are the warp-ins? Where are the reinforcements? Here comes that prism. Oh, can he finish though? Nah, no shot. He's going for the warp-in, but he's going to be targeted down. Yeah, the prism falls. Warp-in is denied. First, well, he's holding on. Barely. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Mewtwo so close to breaking the back of Percival there. Kill the planetary. Percival, he wasn't kiting for a good portion of that fight as well. Like, Percival, he wasn't taking the charge loss as seriously. Did pay the price for it. And Mute, he just keeps going. And Mute, he may just be able to overwhelm. Like, again, it's all because of the gold bases. These gold bases, they're providing him so much income here to just keep warping in charge lots. It's not going to be easy for Percival. Percival going for his own drop. Mute not quite in position. Forced to recall. Nice target firing. Again, even the recalled units have a hard time dealing with this. No anti-air. Nice drop here by Percival. And this is what he needs to do. He needs to somehow hinder the economy. Bring back and forth, back into the mineral lines. Slowing Mute down. Maintaining that supply lead. Well, let's go. Back up to 2, soon to be 3 Colossus. That's a lot of Colossi. Oh, Rico's on cooldown. We're going for the all-in. Yeah, we're going for the all-in. Mute, he sends everything across the map. Catch out the Liberators. Yeah, 2 libs go down. Massive pickups. Oh, the mine shots are brutal on these zealots, though. Planetary trying to hold on. The Colossus, they get caught out. Yeah, both of them going to fall. There's no escaping this. He gets one, he gets both. Colossus is so fragile. Planetary does go down. But Percival, can he clean this up? Does lose 12 SCVs. Tries to come in from behind. Mete's got 1,000 minerals. Where are the warp-ins? There they are. Warping as many cells as he can. He gets surrounded. Oh, he gets got out. Stalkers, Archons, they all fall. Percival takes a fresh expansion, takes the center base. And Mute is broke. Mute at this point, all he can afford are Zealots. Just pure charge lots. Has a Colossus. Okay. He's got a Colossus, he's got triple robo production. Making 2 prisms, let's go. Yeah, Percival running into the army. Don't think he was expecting just this many charge lots. Once again, they collapse in. Nice line connections. Very nice connections. Just going up. Ooh. They barely escape. One does go down. Oh, the punish is real though. Does punish a couple of those stalkers. Still very tense. I mean, Mute again, like that mineral income. It's keeping him going. He can overwhelm. The swarm toss. Oh god. The mine shots though. Mine shots are brutal. No EMPs, no ghosts. Percival being forced all the way back. Yeah, and with that, he has done it. GG gets called. Mute, he barely overwhelms the army, and Mute ties up the series 1-1. Whew, we are going to the ace match. GG. We're going all the way to the ace match here again. And Mute, he got away with the gold bases. There was that one moment when Percival did snipe the expansion, did snipe the gold. That is true. Did snipe that southern base. But that was the only time he was able to really do much to the economy. I guess in the later game, there was that one drop that got 10 probe kills on the right hand side. But for the most part, Percival, he wasn't really able to get any counter damage done. There was definitely always potential for that. But alas, in the end, Mute was left alone. Mute able to enjoy that economy, able to enjoy all that mineral income, and did it well. GG well played. On top of that, Percival, it's really difficult at times, or I say it's difficult. Stylistically, a lot of players don't really enjoy playing against this charge lot style, just because to play against it, you have to be very defensive. You need to not be as active in the center. You can go for drop play, of course, but when it comes to these main pushes, ideally you want to be throwing down SimCity back at home, CCs, depots, creating all these choke points and taking fights on your terms, not in the open. Because if you fight in the open and the center of the map, as we saw, those Zealots, they were able to surround, they were able to chase, they were able to get just better surface area on your army, and that's the value in all those charge lots, is getting those surrounds and punishing a more aggressive Terran player. And Percival happens to be a very aggressive Terran. So with that, Mute was able to catch him out multiple times, able to get some better engagements, more efficient trades. GG well played. And with that, we're going to the ace match. Going to game 3. Again, we saw a very similar dynamic back in the day when this style was really rising in popularity back in 2020, 2021, when we saw this Storm Toss style overwhelm and overpower like 3x players specifically. I always remember, I think it was Cure having a really hard time against this, just because Cure was so unwilling to be more defensive, be more turtling. I remember Bjorn struggling as well, just because of Bjorn's tendencies, right? Bjorn, he's also a very aggressive player in this matchup. And it's something you have to respect and something you have to adapt to. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into Erahome for the ace match. Meanwhile, this is the longest running first round match. We know what series to jump into. We know. I was very tempted to jump into Lunacy versus Rebellion. That was also a spicy matchup, but you know, we chose, and now we're jumping in. And this could go either way. We'll see how this story ends. Who does advance on into the next round. This morning, in the top right hand corner of Erahome, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Percival. Being forced into the ace match and spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Peruvian Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. Here we go. So now we are going to be jumping into that ace match, and we're going to be loading into Airhome. Now, welcome one and all to Airhome. Airhome is a older TLMC map. It's a bit of an older map, but also a rush map as well. Very small, very short. Rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored on this map, and remember, Percival is more of an aggressive player. Double gas opener. So I do expect maybe even a 2-base all in here as well out of Percival. It's how he won game 1, and it's where he really does excel in. We saw him struggle in a longer game against Mutes, and again, that kind of like coincides with, you know, his strengths and weaknesses, Percival's I mean. As the game goes longer, that's where Percival can at times fall apart at the seams a little bit. So we'll see if he can try to end the game a little bit sooner here. We'll see if he does commit to earlier aggression. So far, double gas into a factory. Last game, this led into Banshee play, if you remember. It led into Cloak Banshee. This could lead into Cloak Banshee once again. Reactor Reaper Hellion can lead into Cyclones, lead into Tank Drops, can lead into a Windmine drop. We'll see. Where are we headed? Where are we dropping? Technically, this could even be a 1-base all-in, which I don't really see Percival embracing too much. When I think of players going for 1-base all-ins, we've seen Beyond do this before. We've seen Gumiho, Ryung as well. There are some Korean Terrans that are willing to embrace 1-base all-ins, but I'm not sure if Percival is one of them. Don't know if that's really his MO. Here we go. For the time being, Reaper does pull away. Does dip in, and it does not yet scout the tech, as we still have tech on the way. Second gateway before any tech structure. Meanwhile, CC on the high ground, it is going to be that 1-1-1. Minimal investment into Reaper, so just the one. Just on Reaper. Up! Does get the probe. Whew. Gets a probe for the Reaper. Alas, does not scout the tech. There it is. Twilight Council opener out of mute. Is opting to go for the Twilight Council. And we do see Percival opening up for the first time with the Cyclone. Okay, now there's a couple of ways this can go here. This could actually be the beginning of Cyclone, Medevac into tank, into a tank drop, into like essentially a 1-base all-in. Sorry, I say 1-base, there is a natural, to be fair, but into like an early tank drop. This is a possibility, but no, there it is. Cyclone into a Widowmine instead. Okay. It's still going for some aggression early on. Can still move out with the Cyclone, can still move out with the drop play, with the Widowmine and Marines, but this is going to be less committed from Percival. As Percival, he is soon to move out. There we go. It's going to be a Cyclone, Widowmine, and 2 Marines. Behind this does go into... Wait. Okay. After the Widowmine does go for his tank production, tank, Liberator as well, so still very aggressive by Percival. He's going to be rallying his Liberator across the map. And we'll see if Mute can keep up. So far, 3 Stalkers in position. Drop comes in. Mute does respond. No shield battery. The mine shot is going to go up on the Stalker. Nice connection. Stalker goes down. Probe's going to be falling. SimCity working against Mute here. Getting 4 probe kills. And without Blink, Percival, he should be able to escape. It's going to be close though. Oh, it doesn't save the Cyclone. Yeah, 1 second too late. Cyclone doesn't survive. And Mute holds. Does lose a couple of probes, but overall I would say that was a better defense here by Mute. Losing 4 workers, but gets a Widowmine, 2 Marines, a Cyclone. Specifically the Cyclone. Does make it better. Meanwhile, Liberator does siege, and Mute he does respond in time. Doesn't lose anything. Behind this Percival going for his own 3-rack setup. Nothing crazy. Crazy, nothing wild. Hallucination does confirm. From here, we're settling in. Gonna be settling in. I believe this is 2-gate, no 3. Okay, 3-gate blink into a third base. Extra gates on the way into charge. In the mid game, we do expect a very heavy Zealot composition once again out of Mute. Unlike on El Dorado, he won't have the gold bases to support him. Unfortunately, won't quite have that. A bit of a siege up once again, gets a probe kill. 4 in total. Percival just continuing that harassment. And Mute having a harder time keeping up. Mark does respond. And you see what I see? I see not just a 3-rack setup, I see 2 more Raxes. 2 more Raxes on the way. They're hidden here at the natural. This is looking very similar to game 1. If you remember what happened in game 1, 3 Raxes into 5 Raxes into a 2-base all-in where he pulled all the boys. Game 2, instead of these 2 extra Raxes, what did we see? A 3rd CC. So already much more aggressive here by Percival. There is a much higher chance now that he's going to pull the boys and commit to that all-in, which is what we expect more of here on Arrowhome. And again, this is where Percival does thrive. Here comes the Unsiege. Stim is almost done, +1 on the way. Show us what you got. As he does move out. Yep, going to be reinforcing with Bio. Does begin his move out. Scans the army. There it is, he pulls the boys. As we did assume, does pull the boys, 2-base all in. This is the exact same build that we saw in game 1. I say same build, slightly different opener, true. The opener was slightly different. But overall, it's all or nothing for Percival. And the Colossus is not ready. Colossus is halfway done. We need force fields, more than anything. As tanks do siege. Yeah, the force fields are not there. And with that Percival, he's now within range of the expansion. This base is going to go down, already out positioning Mute. Missile goes off. Mute, he cannot engage. He just cannot do anything about this. The base is going to go down. Mute, his hand is being forced, but he's going to lose everything here. The Colossus has arrived. The Zelsay melts. And the tank volleys here on the Colossus is going to be insane. Yeah, there they are. The volleys go off. The Colossus goes down. And Percival, he's done it. Percival's done it. Mute has been broken. GG gets called, and Percival will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Percival, he will claim the series. Mute is knocked out of the tournament. Very intense back and forth, very intense series. Again, Arrowhome is a rush map. Arrowhome favors aggression, it favors all in. So again, Percival, I'm sure, did take that into account. More importantly here, he was able to also confirm that it was a delayed robo out of his opponent, a delayed Colossus, and unfortunately Mute, he wasn't able to slow down the army. Against an all-in like that, you need to slow it down, you need to force an early siege, pick off some workers. Alas, Mute, he didn't engage until it was already on his side of the map, until it was too late. It's too little too late. With that, GG, Percival, he will claim it, and with that, Percival does advance on to the next round. Question becomes, who is waiting for him? Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us